Okay, so this is going to be a brief video I'm putting together showing you some of the capabilities we can leverage to take the data that we've been working with on the Access side and then connecting it up to Excel and the graphing capabilities that are in Excel. So that's, what what we're going to be able to do is create a visualization that we could, form into a dashboard. All right. So what I'm going to work with here is this our visit day. Basically, if you recall from some one of our earlier videos, I'd gone back and I had taken our store visits table, and what I had done is I had come over here and I had mapped the days of the week. So I had figured out what day. I had run it through the function to tell us what day of the week this date fell on. I put that there. I've actually have gone ahead and have also added another column into the table called the day of the week name, which gives us the names of basically Sunday through Saturday. Sunday being day one, Saturday being day seven. All right, so we have 39,000 rows here. So what I'm going to want to do is, so what I want to do for this particular query is, I wanted to create a query and I want to figure out basically what days of the week, consolidate all of this data down, these 39,000 some odd rows down, and to map them to the days of the week, the frequency by which people show up, how many visits we have by day, and then what is our revenue, or basically our total visit amount by day. Okay, so what we'll do is let's create a new query. So I'm going to create a query design, and I'm going to take our visit day assignment, add that, we'll close this. Okay, and what I'm going to do, the only fields I want to take on this, all right, I'm going to take the day of the week. So we'll take the name. All right, we'll take the total visit amount, which is the summary, basically whatever we've created. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take the day of the week as well. All right, so we'll just run this. So the first thing we'll do is we'll do a quick run of this. Okay, so we've got our days of the week. All right, the total visit amount, basically how much was for every transaction that was occurred on that day, and then the day it occurred on. All right, so let's go back to our query again. Let's make some modifications to it. So what I want to do is I want to consolidate this stuff down. So what I want to do is I'm going to click my totals here. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a group by the name. So what happens is that'll actually collapse everything down to the individual days. So it'll be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so on and so forth. For the visit amount, I'm going to do sum. So what that will do is that will give us the total of that day. All right, and then the day of the week, I'm going to do a count. We'll do count. All right. So what this should do is this should give us this should collapse all that 39,000 rows into the 7 days. Let's see what we get. So we'll kind of expand that. If you see those pound signs, what that means is you need to widen it up to be able to see that. So what we've got is we've got our days of the week. All right, we've got the summary of all of what was paid in, or basically the revenue for those particular days, and how many visits that was. Okay, so now what I want to do is let's go back. Let's kind of organize this a little bit better. All right, I'm going to go to my design view again, and what I want to do is I want to sort it by, let's sort this by the visit amount. All right, so the highest amount, so we'll do it in a descending. So what we'll do is the day of the week that has the largest amount, the the largest revenue, we will uh, move those first, and then second, third, fourth, fifth. Okay, so that's what we get on a descending. All right, we'll run this again, and what we're going to see is no, did not quite. Did we get that? No, it did not sort. Hang on a second. No, because what you're supposed to do is actually put the field in there. So we'll say that is a descending. Okay, better. All right. So what we got is the day where we have the greatest revenue is on Saturday, 69,203. The lowest day is Wednesday. All right. So it's Saturday, Monday, Friday, Sunday, then Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we have our counts here. All right. So we now have a we've consolidated a lot of this data, and this is the type of data, we've consolidated stuff down to the point where we maybe want to do a presentation of it or do a graph of it. All right. So what I'm going to do here is let's save this query. All right. So I'm going to take this query, we'll save it. Now I'm going to say, we'll call it summary by day. Summary by day. Okay, so what we've got is we'll give us the summary in order, of what came first, second, third, fourth, fifth. All right. So if I do my summary by day, we'll see we have these numbers. Okay, so let's close this out then. All right, so I want to do a quick save, make sure we got everything saved. I'm now going to exit Access. Oops. All right, so we're out of Access now. And what I want to do is I want to start up Excel. So this is Excel. This is Office 2016. So we have Access 2016, Excel 2016. So let's start this up. Let's create a new spreadsheet. All right. So I'm just going to create a blank workbook. All right. And what I'm going to do, so the way Microsoft Office has been designed, especially with Access and Excel and all the different products, is that they're designed that they all can be tightly integrated together without a lot of effort. All right, so what we have the ability to do is what Access is really good at is processing data. It's not really designed around, you can do some presentation stuff, but it's not its strong suit. Excel, on the other hand, is very good at doing presentations. As a matter of fact, especially with the version that's out in 2016, actually becoming very, that's one of its really strong suits. You can do all sorts of graphs with it. All right, so we're going to use some of that. All right, so what I'm going to do though is I want to link these two together. So I'm creating a new spreadsheet, and I want to go to Data. All right, so I'll click Data, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to say I want to bring the data over from Access. All right, so the way you do that, if you take a look under Data, far left-hand side from Access. So I'm going to click this. All right, and it'll ask us to look for our database, which I believe I have on the desktop. Yes, I do. We'll double click on that. Now, what it'll do is, what we're doing is we're inside of Excel, but we're connected, right now we are connected into Access, even though Access isn't running. It's able to connect to Access as a data source. All right. And if you take a look, you'll see all of these, which says all of these tables, it'll say select tables. So a lot of these things are tables, but you can also, within Access, a table, and you can also access a query just like it's a table. All right. So we're gonna take our summary by day. All right. Doing okay on that. We will view it. Let's view it as a table for right now. All right. All right, so we now have a table. If this looks vaguely familiar, this is what exactly we were looking at before. So this is exactly pulled in from Access directly into Excel that we can work with. All right. Now what we can do is within Excel, the graphing tools, the graphing functions that we can work with inside of Access are, excuse me, within Excel are actually here. So if you go under Insert, you'll see all these different things we can do, but we have different charts. All right, so what I can do is, we'll do a real simple one. Let's just do your basic garden variety column or bar chart. All right, and we can do a three-dimensional chart. All right, so it was really simple. All right, so we can do and we can change our chart title. We can call this okay. So really simple. What we're able to do is be able to put a chart that lists out our, which actually does an analysis. It shows us our revenues by day. All right, so here's our Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I can also, we can actually take our count of the days of the week. You don't have to take our days of the week. We take those out for now. All right. So this gives us our totals by day. What we can actually do is we can create another chart, very similar fashion. Do an insert. We can do another chart, and we can do another 3D column. And a little bit of a different color, a little bit of a different look. And what we'll add on this one is going to be, and the way you can load this stuff up is go out to the chart and you can take this column, and you can just do the similar thing here for the days of the week. Oops. Oh, not quite. Control C. Okay. So what this is our, so this will be, we can call this one visits by day. Hang on a sec. And you kind of, once you get the graph there, you can kind of noodle around. You can kind of noodle around with it and add columns or add legends and whatnot. So we can adjust this. We can insert we can change the chart style. We can also change the legend underneath of what days, basically what days are which. Okay, so we can work around. We can kind of set this to be. Let's see if this will copy. A lot of this stuff is just kind of using cut and paste. So copy values. Okay, well, I'm just going to leave that for right now. Okay, so basically you can take the data. So the idea is you can transfer the data simply by creating a query in the Access database, coming into Excel using, bringing that over, being able to bring it into bring it onto a data sheet, and then use the tools that are in the different types of charting tools. And you can play around with these. There's a whole bunch of different, we don't lack for different types of charts, distribution charts, combo charts. So there's a bunch of these in here you can kind of play around with. All right, pie charts. See what we want to do is take a look at what your data is out there, what we have in terms of our data out there, and then we can come back and say, do an analysis on it, based upon find a presentation that would seem to align well with that. Okay, so that is kind of a highlight. And then all you would do is simply you would save the spreadsheet. And what it will do, now the other thing is when you open the spreadsheet, it will also, if you've updated the data in the database, all right, so if you've redone the query, what will happen is when you run when you open the spreadsheet, it will automatically refresh the data that's in the query. All right, so you can actually dynamically link these things together. Okay, so as I said, you can play around with this. There's a couple of, there's a lot of different types of charts, lots of different types of, lines and slicers and all sorts of, kind of play around with this, all right? But your basic, your simplest, most straightforward thing is you can just simply bring it over and do a quick graph on it, all righty? And that is about it.